All right, the Houston Texans. Look, we all know that they're going to have a target on their back, and we're going to talk later in this video about some of the comments that Tank Dell made about that target on their back. But it's true. When you're coming off a great year, a year where you're better than you were expected, which the Texans are, all right, then you know going into the next year, you are going to have a target on your back, and that is why they need great growth from players like Christian Harris heading into his third year in the league, and we have some good stuff about that and things that DeMeco Ryans is saying under him, and why I believe this is going to, in fact, be a breakout year for Christian Harris, partially because of who they've surrounded him with, but also just because history can tell us that's what it looks like. All right, if you're new to this channel, this is what we do here. We love the NFL. We love talking about the NFL. We have a ton of Texans content going out, so Texans fans, don't worry. We didn't forget about you. We're just adding other teams as well, especially in the slow part of the summer NFL season, but we're going to continue bringing you Texans content all summer long and all year long. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We still have plenty of Texans love. Still got the Nico Collins jersey. It's all good. So don't worry about that. With that being said, let's talk about our guy, Christian Harris. I think this is great. And here's how the article starts. Talks about Fred Warner didn't become an all-pro linebacker overnight with the San Francisco 49ers. 2 years into his budding career, the former third-round pick was still adjusting to life in the NFL. Then came year 3. And the first of 3 all-pro nods, everything clicked. Warner has transformed from a rising talent into one of the league's top defensive players. So what does he have in common with Christian Harris? Why am I talking about a San Francisco 49er? Because both of them saw great growth in year 2, and both of them were molded by DeMeco Ryans. All right? And much like Warner's progress, Ryans can see a similar upside to Harris's maturation. Here's the first thing that Ryans said, because you want to hear what they're saying. You want to hear what the head coach is saying, the ball coach, all right? More than you want to hear what I'm saying. I promise you that much. And it's this. For Christian, it was just all about confidence, Ryan said earlier this month. Just believe that you can make those plays. I think that. And for me as a coach, it's one thing. Just continue to exude and push that confidence upon him because he is a great player. When DeMeco Ryans, a great player himself, all right, and has shown to be a phenomenal coach, right? When he's sitting here saying, you're a great player, you've got it, then you need to understand that you've got it. Harris was picked in the 3rd round a couple of years ago, all right? He has proved that in the right system, good things will happen. This is a linebacker-friendly system, all right? You have a linebacker coaching it. That's the way it works. All right, he has a man-heavy formation. He was asked to play in space opposite of Blake Cashman up the middle, and he did that well. All right, Cashman had a great year, ended up signing this long-term contract with the Vikings, all right, one that I think was too rich for the Texans to match. And Harris, who did a bit of everything, all right, had 104 tackles, 102, and 2 sacks. By the way, Cashman had 104. Like, how close is that? How good was that? All right, but where Harris was really good was in coverage. So if he has the skills to play in coverage, all right, especially against the Browns, right? If he has the skills to play in coverage, if he's doing all those things, he must be just a step away from what happens in the running game. So let's go back to what DeMeco Ryans has to say about this. He said he's talented. He has all the athletic ability. Now it's just continuing to believe that. Once he crossed that threshold of believing, that's when you see him take off. Here's what I love about this quote. It's not just a quote that says, hey, he can be good. And when he starts believing, he will be good. He said once he crossed that threshold, that's when you see him take off. So he's kind of saying, like, he's already started doing it. All right? He already starts doing it. And Ryan sees a new spark in Harris, all that kind of stuff. He said it's all about your instincts, right? If you have instincts and you see it and trust it and go with it and you play fast, you make plays, Ryan said. Christian never had a problem with seeing. All right? So does that mean he has a problem with trusting? Right? And are they just trying to instill the confidence that, dude, you're seeing it right. You're seeing it right. Go, go, go. And I think about this, and as you know, all right, if you've been on this channel for a while, this isn't our first channel. We have our main channel, which is Sports Talk Detroit. We cover the Lions. Right after I'm done making this video, I'm going to go make a video about Jack Campbell and all the improvement that the coaching staff is seeing in Jack Campbell as a year 2 linebacker. He has all the physical tools in the world. He just looks like he was stuck in the mud last year at times. He had those stiff hips at times. And Christian Harris, you got to get him to stop thinking, and you need to get him on just that autopilot, I guess is the best way to say it. You need to get him just going and trusting what he sees. All right, and that's exactly what Ryans is saying in the last quote we have from him. He says they're not thinking, they're on autopilot, they're just rolling. They know the techniques and how to do it. Now they let their bodies take over and make plays. Great players, their thinking happens so fast that it's more instinct than think. That's the way it goes, and there's no position in the NFL that you have to be a quicker thinker out there than linebacker. Like, everything happens so fast. It's so important to be able to read and react, to run, to pass, to the blocking scheme. What gap, where's your coverage? Who are you on? Like, I mean, there are so many things for a linebacker to do. That's why they wear the green dot, right? That's why they call the defense, because they need to know what everybody's doing in front of them. They need to know what everybody is doing behind them, and they need to be able to read and react with extreme speed, and they have to be doing all of that while being one of the best athletes and big enough to be able to do it at the same time. Linebacking in the NFL is not for the faint of heart. And that off-ball linebacker, whether it's, especially if it's a pass coverage specialist, or that middle linebacker, generally isn't paid a huge amount of money, so you need to know a ton. You need to figure it all out. You're usually one of the captains of the defense, and it's for not as much money. Now, if you're an outside linebacker who's rushing the passer all the time, yeah, you're going to get paid for that. But still, Texans are in a very good spot. And I said I'd get to the Tank Dell quote, so here you go. He said, "We ready." He said on Saturday, "We're all excited. We know we have a target on our back. We got a lot of things we want to accomplish, Super Bowl playoffs, things like that. So we're ready to ready to go to work." Again, this is what I want you to remember from last year for the Texans. Things were different than in years past. All right, the 5 years, 6 years before that. I would even go back to even the Deshaun Watson days. You would win games that in the past you wouldn't usually win. Like, you'd get a big win. It's like, all right, what does it look like for the next game? Are we going to falter? Nope. Another win, right? And you won the big games in order to get to the big games, the bigger games. And your team continued to play, whether you were hurt, whether there was things stacked up against you, until you ran into the buzzsaw that was the Baltimore Ravens. And I think that in year 1, it's already been proven by this coaching staff that they know how to put the players in position to win. And I don't think having the target go from the other team to your team is going to change any of that. You still have coaches that know how to win. You still have coaches that know how to play with a target on your back. And I'm excited to see what they do this year. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Always good to talk Texans football. Peace.